Guys, there continues to be division among the NBA's players about restarting the season. Kyrie Irving in particular has been adamant that returning to basketball could become a distraction in the fight against racism in America. Now, Irving himself not expected to go to Orlando regardless due to his recovery from a shoulder injury. But on Friday night, he organized a conference call of nearly 100 players, then made what our Adrian Wojnarowski reported was, quote, an impassioned plea to take a stand and refuse to participate in the Orlando bubble. Now, this stance came as something of a surprise to leadership of the Players Union. As one of the union's vice presidents, Kyrie had not only been involved in months of conversations with the league on a restart, but in particular had been part of a unanimous player rep vote to push forward just a week earlier. Still, Irving hardly the only one with concerns. Clippers guard Lou Williams tweeted, quote, if we had a game today and you leave a protest to watch it, that's a distraction. And in a statement to CNN, Dwight Howard said, quote, I agree with Kyrie. Basketball or entertainment, period, isn't needed at this moment and will only be a distraction. No basketball until we get things resolved. Now, when asked for clarity on what Dwight meant by, quote, resolved, Dwight's agent told ESPN that despite the statement, Howard has in fact not yet made a decision on whether he wants to play or not. So I guess that is an evolving situation. And of course, there are players being just as vocal in the other direction. Rockets guard Austin Rivers wrote on Instagram, quote, us coming back would put money in all of our pockets. With this money, you could help out even more people and continue to give, more importantly, your time and energy toward the Black Lives Matter movement. And then there was Clippers guard Patrick Beverley, who tweeted out a more cynical view. Hoopers, say what y'all want. If King James said he's hooping, we're all hooping. I should note that LeBron did not weigh in on this particular discussion over the weekend, but he has, of course, said more broadly he wants to return to play. Meanwhile, Woj and Ramona Shelburne reported this morning that despite all this discussion, quote, there's no indication that the NBA's return is actually in jeopardy or that there's even a significant group of players ready to sit out. Still, guys, there are clearly some. T-Mac, if you were still playing right now, where would you stand in all this?
That'd be a tough question. Me, I will vote not to play. And it's an accumulation of me wanting radical change with everything that's going on in the country. But let's not forget, there are still people dying from this coronavirus.
Yep.
You know, I got a buddy of my brother in New York, in Harlem, has lost 16 people due to this coronavirus. So we can't forget about that, you know, along with everything else that's going on. So I will not play. I get both sides where, you know, you can do both. You can play and you can also bring awareness while you're playing, and also get that, you know, you have a distraction from, you know, the protesters wanting to watch the game of basketball, leaving what they're doing out in the streets protesting to come home and watch the game. I get what Lou Williams is saying. So I get both sides, but you know, let's not forget, people are dying from this coronavirus as well.
Yeah, T-Mac, Rachel, listen, this is the way I feel about it. I'm with whatever we come together as a whole and come up with. Meaning, right now, our players union look bad because you have one group of guys and led by our president and Chris Paul, who's done a great job throughout this whole process of communicating with Adam Silver, communicating with players, and having group conversations about whether they wanted to play or not. And then you have your vice president, who also and Kyrie Irving, who also has been on those calls over the past few weeks or month or so. And when they voted, the vote was 28-0. Now listen, I'm all in for whatever they agree upon. Like, you know, hey, if they want to make a stance and say we all go come together and not play, I'm with it. But it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And the timing of it with Kyrie was a bad timing, because right now it's separation within the brotherhood of the NBA, because you got half of the guys saying we don't want to play, half of the guys do want to play, and that's not what we need right now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.